20 hours ago.
Yeah.
Are those our trenches being used?
You know, I don't know where they get those trenches from because it's not my mod set. It could be, for all I know.
Oh, the brown dirt and the sandbag textures look very familiar.
Huh. I can look into that if you remind me after the stream.
Oh, don't worry.
Righto. Alright, stream is live. I just have to make sure everything is a-okay on my end. And then set up my commands. Alright.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Write up the mission command. Round 1 is going to be up for attacking to destroy 2 blue for objectives. Up for have an 8% numbers advantage. For RPD boats, probably the small ones. DP-27 boat. 2 BTR. 40 Dishkas. Oh, and that's it. Blue 4 is infantry only. Alright, cool. And now we're just waiting for them to essentially start slotting. So, how was your week, Rob? Anything exciting happen?
Yeah.
Go over it. Let's hear it.
Well, let's see. I've been working with guys on the west coast of the States, so that means that every day has been very long because by the time I get into bed, they're going, "Hey, it's morning here," and you know, or mid-afternoon at least, and you know, do you fancy a call to catch up? And I'm like, so a headset goes on, you know, and I finish work at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Ugh. That's gotta suck.
But one of those guys is a New York Times best-selling author who's worked with the CIA and Special Forces and SEALs for the last 30 years of his career and sold 6 million books. And he's just agreed to work with us on all our future projects. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Because I write the campaign, but I'm not a writer, you know. But getting a guy like that on the team, I'm stoked. It's keeping me up at night.
All right. Well, so are the West Coast workers, right?
Yeah, they're all in Cali, aren't they? So that's kind of cool. And then I've been animating cockpits all week.
I see.
Yeah.
So as in the animation of the character in the cockpit, or what do you mean by that specifically?
Like all the dials and the readouts and everything, you know, which is kind of how I got started with Jets DLC, was working on cockpit design. And funnily enough, with Nod Unit, if we roll back about 7 years, we were working on the Shikra together. And I worked with a guy called Luis, who's fantastic, from Brazil. I worked with him on the Gripen in Jets DLC. And then we got that thing animated and got it redesigned a little bit, got it out the door, you know, and then, of course, the rest is history. Working, you know, we haven't put enough planes into SOG yet, so.
Right. I remember we talked quite a bit about that last week, too, with the first FNF.
Yeah, I'm a bit more sober tonight because
of course.
Last week I was drinking this Pilsner in the local micro pub,
right?
And it was lethal. So this week I basically went for a lighter dose of it before I joined the stream.
I gotcha. Well, how's the shovel doing?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, we could spend an hour discussing it.
Oh, really? We could? Well, I mean, you know, FNF, they can take a while to slot, so for all I know, we probably have that hour.
Yeah, I'm just watching them all slowly slotting up. It's
right.
like what they need is Gunnery Sergeant Hartman to walk through the barracks going "Revele, Revele, Revele" as he batters his trash can with his truncheon. Although they probably call it a nightstick or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a fun week. It's been a lot of the thing about animating cockpits that people won't get is, or they might not get, is you're kind of having to convert kilonewtons to megapascals and all this kind of stuff because you're doing like barometric altitude calculations and
right.
And speed going from meters per second to kilometers an hour to knots to miles per hour and all that kind of stuff, and then having to switch it into Mach for jet stuff, so it's like, and what is Mach? Mach changes at different altitudes. So animating a cockpit is a complete head fuck.
I can understand that.
Which is why there aren't really many jets around in Armour. A lot of people don't work on them. Pookie and the US Air Force Mod and RHS and a few of the others, and Cup, they all make some really great jets. But you'll find a lot of people. Viper works on a few, I think, and then there's the odd individuals like Nighthawk, Night Intruder, who's very cool. He's always converting jets and choppers. There's a few guys out there that do it, but it's kind of a select community. There's not a lot of people that do it. But people may have seen, Project Rax was released as a mod.
Right.
Probably about 3 weeks ago now, and I know WLD has been working on that for, since Operation Flashpoint. But
right.
He for the Armour 3 version, he's waited all this time to bring it out. Armour 3 is 10 years old, and he's finally released the Project Rax mod, which he's been playing in peace with his family and friends for the last 10 years and not shared with anyone.
Right.
And then he finally went, you know what? It's April the 1st. Fuck it. And he released it. Over 800 new assets into the community.
Nice.
And he is an absolute warrior, former airborne, 7 combat tours, retired E7, a solid guy. And he's helped us a lot on the DLC. And I just wanted to give a shout out for his mod because people should try it. Prax mod, go and get it.
How's it spelled?
PRACS, Project Rax.
Gotcha.
It's the Royal Serrani Army, basically, from the original Armour 1 idea. And what he has is a bunch of planes that aren't in other mods as well. So if you like jets, which I always did, I was always a big Prax whore back in the day.
Right.
You all should be too. Firewheel. Yes, someone's just mentioned Firewheel. Firewheel is actually Korean. I didn't know this, and he actually worked on our Korean translation for the DLC.
Oh.
There you go.
The more you know. That's kind of what I love about the whole Arma community, though, for modding. I mean, you mentioned you were working with a Brazilian guy, you just brought up the Korean, but everyone in all wakes of life can work on this game, and it's crazy to see where people originate from.
Oh yeah, we have people from 37 countries working on actually working on the DLC. Then there's more people, in the beta testing and stuff that are from other countries. So it's probably nearly 50 countries by the end.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Just reading what Malan's saying. Yeah. I should have put Firewheel right up there, really. I think his F-16 in Armour 2 was a real classic. And if you go all the way back, you might remember in the dim past Nat, GNAT. Nat made the original, I think, F-18 in Arma 1 or Flashpoint.
Dang.
And it had like a master arm system, with an interface to load up all the pylons. How did he do it back then, before there was any engine support?
Right?
Absolutely crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on tonight then? What are we in for?
That is a very good Malin question, because he would be the head honcho here. I'm going to let him reply to that. I'm getting some TeamSpeak DMs. People want me to add more to the multi, but our first mission appears to be some sort of boat offensive by Op4. Blue 4 is defending 2 objectives. Once I see it on the map, I will be able to give you more, but we can see if Malin will give us some sort of write-up otherwise.
Cool. I can't wait to see how it goes. It was pretty intense last week.
Oh, indeed it was. Down to the wire on a few of them, and then others, it was a bit of a clean sweep, so we'll just have to see how all that goes.
Yeah, I have to apologize to the listeners for last week, because by the time we got to round 3, I was so drunk. I was repeating myself about
you're fine. I didn't help too much.
7.62 ammo is the best, and the Aussies, why are they red? And what's that shovel doing there? It was fun. We had a fun.
It was
time.
very fun. I agree.
And the thing is, Friday is the day, the one day of the week where I'm not on duty.
Right.
So when you guys organise this on a Friday, it's a bit dangerous because it's the day when I kick back and relax.
Right.
So I may actually make a few leaks tonight. I did make some last week, and nobody really picked it up. Nobody has gone out on Reddit or anything going, this has been confirmed or that has been confirmed. Like everyone just let it pass them by, and I'm really glad, because you saved my ass probably.
It's all good, but I'm probably not going to be able to do it now, because I actually just finished my first beer, and I'm going to go grab a second one, so I'll be back in a second.
Oh, well, I better leak all the secrets, because he's gone. Oh, some of you heard. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, well, maybe you did. But what did you hear? I want to put you to the test. Wow, we've got the map up now. And it's in Hui. Oh, okay. And it looks like the Trung Tien Bridge and we've got to blow some bridges by the looks of it. The Trung Tien Bridge, which is the main road bridge across to the Citadel from the Cirque du Soleil, or whatever it's called, the Cirque Sportif. And then the westernmost is the railway bridge, which did survive the war, of course. The Trung Tien Bridge did not. It was blown up by VC sappers.
Interesting.
We actually toyed around with the idea of making a wreck model of it with a little sort of, so it's all like crashed down into the water in the middle, and in between, in the gap, there's a little pontoon bridge, made of planks.
So people can still cross?
Yeah, but the AI would have hated it. They'd have tried to drive trucks across it and stuff. So we
definitely
just didn't do it.
I think the AI just hate bridges in general, though, to be honest. Working with them day to day, it's one of the things I try to avoid personally, because the AI will just go up to it and go, nope, that's water, I can't cross it. And it's like, but bridge. I'm like, nope, it's water. Aye. But I've never seen a game mode called Demolition before, so this might be a new type that the FNF community is unveiling because of the markups here. I mean, it would just be a play off of their standard go to an area, find an objective, and destroy it, but this one appears to have specific markers. I'm also being told it's kind of like Uplink, where it's, yeah, that would make sense. They just have to interact with something specific to plant the quote-unquote explosives, but instead of a terminal asset, it's just something tied to the bridge.
And who has to plant the charge? Is that going to be like the VC, or is
that would be Op for the VC doing it as Blue 4 tries to defend.
Yeah, so Op 4 are going to come and try and blow the bridges. Okay.
Yes.
Do they know there's a secret? There's a secret about the Trung Tien Bridge. If you go underneath it, there's actually a crawl space with a plank that runs the whole length of the bridge, so you can crawl up underneath the bridge and work your way all the way across it without anyone seeing you.
I'm going to have to look at that once we pass into the mission, because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's not something most people would know was even there, but it's something I insisted on putting in for good level design. You always need to create two ways to do things. You know, never have just one way, or funnel people.
Right.
It's a shame that they're not using Hue Citadel, because if you actually go into that, we designed that like a Call of Duty level. Having been Call of Duty mappers and modders in the past, we understand for search and destroy and headquarters and some of those game modes, you need like little kill grounds and murder holes and all that kind of stuff. And if you go inside Hue Citadel, it has all of that stuff. It has multiple routes to everything, like sniper routes to the roof, no cul-de-sacs. The whole thing's designed as a multiplayer kind of paradise.
Well, I remember, I think it was either the last time or the time before.
Sorry, can't stay long, but we'll catch what I miss on YouTube.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the $20 spot, my friend. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of what you can catch right now, and anything that you miss, again, you'll hit it on the VOD. Appreciate it, brother. Otherwise, looks like someone got kicked for not having the map. That's funny. But no, I remember the Citadel, we had it on an FNF match. I don't know if it was last time we were together or the time before, but I do remember covering something around there. But let's go ahead and look at the bridges. So, I'm looking for what you mentioned. Looks like they also put a bunch of stuff on top of the bridge as well.
Cool. And these are all highly destructible cars. You can actually open the door and hide behind the door and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, look, here's your little ramp going up.
Oh.
There's your crawl space underneath.
Interesting. I never knew that existed.
I mean, it's going to suck if you crawl all the way across there and then someone whacks you as soon as you get off the other end. Or you get stuck and like clip through the top of the bridge and die. It's armor, so who knows?
So that provides a way to go on from the other side. I don't see a way down, though, but I assume they'd just hop off or something.
No, there should be. Unless it's highly broken by the designers after I stopped looking.
Yeah.
There should be a ramp down. Yeah,
I do not see a ramp down on this side, only on the other side.
Oh my god. No, there should be a ramp on each side, so somebody's effed that up by the looks of it. We found another shovel gate. Get Bob Murphy in there.
I mean, it could be that. It could be maybe it got hidden or something by the map developer, but who knows? It's certainly something to look into later. But based off of what they've put on the bridge, I don't think even the mission maker knew that that was there, because you see all this stuff up here for cover and whatnot on the central piece, and then you got that on the other side as well. Even with some custom smoke and whatnot, and is that a little radio tower in the middle? That's funny. But yeah, some flip design with some smoke and whatnot. That is quite nice. But overall, let's go ahead and read our little mission here. So, background, January 1968. Wild battles rage to the north of the city. A daring company of NVA infantry OPFOR have broken off and traveled down the coast. Their mission to destroy 2 bridges and cut off enemy supply lines in preparation for a massive infantry assault on the former capital of Vietnam. Via U.S. intelligence, the ARVN top brass in the city are aware of the imminent attack, but with the bulk of their fighting force out of the city, only have a ragtag group of new recruits, Blue 4, at their disposal. Outmatched in numbers, equipment, and experience, they must repel the attack, defend the bridges, and prevent a bitter blow to the defense of Hue City. And then it's lyrics for Gimme Shelter. That's funny. Demolition, so notes demolition game mode is simply an uplink, slightly repackaged. Instead of a data terminal, players must interact with a black barrel with explosive charge attached. That's nice. Note for the following, the interaction icon on the barrels is inconsistent, so to guarantee being able to set the trigger, being able to trigger them to use the scroll wheel menu and select set charge. Similarly to the top timer, select diffuse charge from the scroll wheel menu. The detonation radius is a lot larger than you will be used to, so it is advised to be precisely nowhere near the bridges when the charges go off. That's understandable. Contacts sympathetic to the NVA have left vehicles for OPFOR use near their spawn. The location and contents of these drops is marked on the map for OPFOR's eyes only. All right. Otherwise, hack time, quote-unquote, is 90 seconds because they said it's just a replay on uplink. Mission variables, no defender points. Interesting. So Blue 4 just have to hold what they can and rush out from their central spawn objective. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment, and render distance is 1,100 meters. I don't believe there's any medium anti-tank teams. I don't see an Echo on either side, so this doesn't matter. Blue 4 otherwise are your ARVN Vietnamese Army kits. Loadouts for them are going to be M16s or M14s or the 1897 trench gun. 1911s for their handguns. Support the light machine gunners and Alpha Bravo Charlie for balance. Get the M2 carbine with the 30-round mags. Delta get the M60s. Light anti-tank is going to be an M72 Law, and crew and aviation get a grease gun, but I don't think that matters for Blue 4 because they have no assets and no crew-served weapons. Op 4, meanwhile, are going to be your NVA kits. So loadouts are going to be SKS rifles or Type 56s or M49s if they want to go French. Otherwise, they got the ISH double-barrel shotguns and the TT handgun supports. K50s for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and Delta's going to get the PKs. Light anti-tank's going to be the B41 RPG, and crew and aviation get the MAT-49, which might be specifically for the BTR-40s, but I'm not seeing any dedicated vehicle slots, so that's fine. Looking over on Blue 4, in their little spawn base right here at the hospital. Who is our leader? We have Pierce leading. All right, so Pierce is a fan favorite to lead. Newton is going to be Alpha's squad leader. Sneck is the medic. Puma is that a marksman? No, I can't tell what he is. Might just be an extra rifleman that's joined up in there, because usually the 2IC has the grenadier weapon, and then you have a marksman, which would probably be an M14, but again, just appears to be an extra rifleman there. Valtarian leading Alpha 1 with Skits, Flaninja, and Zally. Flaninja has the 203 system. I mean, what would the Grenadier system on the M16 technically be called, Eggbeast?
That one is an XM148.
XM148. All right. That is an underbarrel grenade system there. Let's see. Martinez leading Alpha 2 with Ant, Alipuz, Nicholas, Blast, and Toxic. NASA leading Charlie with Ivno as the 2IC, and he's got the underbarrel. Lolo. Yeah, so it looks like there is a marksman scope for the M16 that they're giving for the squad marksmans there. So that might be what Flaninja has. He just, or excuse me, Puma has, but he just took it off. So anyway, Pogo being the...
You're not likely to get a one-shot kill with that across a river that's 200 meters across or something.
Right.
With a 5.56 round, you know, it's going to tumble in the body and all that stuff. Maybe it's going to kill, maybe it's going to go straight through. Sort of thing is obviously the way BI have built these weapons. We always add a tiny bit more damage on all our munitions because we like to make it a little bit harder.
Right.
But even then, across that bigger distance with a scope and an M16, if you hit someone, there's a chance he's going to just hit the deck and roll, and someone's going to patch him up.
Hold on one second. Yeah, so on the other side of the bridge, by the way, there is meant to be another gate right here, but it was hidden by the mission maker. That's Veteran 29 mentioning that. So there's no how did he word that?
I was noticing the shadow on the wall there, which is, you know, I'm like, who's baked that shadow in? But obviously that's because there was a thing there that's been removed.
There's no ramp gate this time, though. That's how he puts it. Otherwise, Pogo_ being the medic for Charlie, Bluck leading Charlie 1 with Kermit, Timek, Albin, and Depso. Charlie 2 being led by Jack the Viper with Hanishi, Tim Kappa, and Anu. Oddball leading Delta with Astronaut as the medic. Skipu leading Delta 1 with Halenaris, that's it, Kempa, Kobak, and Dowdox. Delta 2 being led by Rund with Lurch, Zaki, and Baror on his side. On the other team, we got Vagrant leading. He is one of the top leadership elements in my opinion. Swola as the Alpha lead here with Tackleberry taking the medic. Steve leading Alpha 1 with Kabubi Face, Alexander, Kazag, Mike, and Ash. Banks leading Alpha 2 with Harna, Wheaton, and Art Core under him. Kyria leading Bravo with Lolo as the marksman, which appears to be an SKS with the PS host. No. What is it? What type of sight is it? Is it the PK or the PS? Or the PU?
PU.
It's a PU, that's it. Mutant as the medic, roster as an AT guy under HQ, so they probably took him for Bravo 1 or Bravo 2, but Sam leading Bravo 1 with Reapers, Olaf, Patriot, Main, and Charles. Norris leading Charlie HQ. So there's no Bravo 2, so that's probably why Bravo HQ has roster, because he was part of Bravo 2 that then merged. But otherwise, Norris leading Charlie with Bates and Schultz. Under him, looks like Bates is the medic. Sablon leading Charlie 1 with Hunt, Vermilion, Holtz, Arrington, and Rufy. And there is no Charlie 2. Delta being led by Nemesis with Cindy as the medic. Yanni Finn leading Delta 1 with Whiplash, Burton, and Dobbs. These are the guys with the PKPs. Cass leading Delta 2 with Buma, Andrix, Cullis, and Ozzy Diggs.
Yeah, Ozzy Diggs is the guy who always scores consistently the highest score.
Exactly.
On every Sunday game, even with the SOG vets playing.
He's only
the Terminator.
Beaten him once or twice on that scoreboard, but I swear to God, that man is a genius. He always goes in with a scoped M16 with a suppressor, and he will just rack up headshot upon headshot. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to do in a PvP scenario.
I need to learn the Hebrew word for Terminator, because he's Israeli, and he is the Terminator, and he deserves that name.
Mm-hmm. He is a pleasure to work with on Sundays, though. But we've got Op4 mostly moving out on foot, possibly on the northern bank, so it looks like they're not going to utilize the boats too much. They had multiple ways to do this. They could have either gone through the boats, or they could go on the far northern side, cut west and then south, or they could just cut south straight and then infiltrate through the city and attack from the east and the southern sides. But it looks like they're going to go head-on and try to stage from the Hugh Citadel, which that could be
You think they're heading for the Citadel? Because it looks like they're flanking to me, but...
Right,
okay.
But on the angle we're seeing, they're going to move up around here, and then the only thing that's really there for them to utilize is the Hugh Citadel, unless they're going to plan to bypass it on the far right side towards the west and then cut south. But...
yeah. Well, that would be my play. I would definitely get some snipers and rocket guys up on the roof of the Hui Citadel, and you're going to be tweaking people if you don't call it Hui.
Right. Okay, Hui. My bad.
Or even Wei, which is more like the Vietnamese translation of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you see this bit on the top here? I really wanted to have some boxes and stuff so you could climb onto it. That bit you just passed. And we never got round to it, but there's no way onto it, and you never design stuff like that in a game, right? There should be a way onto that roof.
Onto this piece specifically, I see what you mean.
Yeah. There should be a way onto it, and it never got done. And I kept saying in our Thursday night terrain meetings, we need to put a little ramp or some piles of crates or something, because it's a cool roof and it's very useful. But if the guys are running, what is it called? Advanced movement. They might be able to get up on there. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be too tall for it, unfortunately. Because I'm thinking even if they boosted a guy, that would only get them half the distance, and there's still that steep side as well, so they'd need a few boxes or something.
If you can park a truck there, you can climb on the roof of the truck, and I'm pretty sure you could enhance move on top. But yeah, it sucks. We should have. I mean, mission designers can do it, but we should have done it.
Right.
When you look at the actual Hui Citadel on the roof, though, which you can come back to later, you'll see tons of really good sniper positions on there. So.
Especially up here.
A team up there, yeah. All broken up roof, plenty of opening windows and little portals and stuff. What can you see across?
Exactly. I think there's going to be too many trees in the way, though, to really make this a viable position. Because if we look at the level, there's some areas, but
if you look right up on the roof, on the ridge, that's on the ridge line of the top of the main roof. Go right up on top and have a look from there.
I've seen people get up right here, and it's going to be much better. You got some angles of the bridges, but the one that's far to the southwest, that one's going to be a little outside of the range. But the closer one, you definitely can have some good keyholes up there.
Yeah, you're talking about 500 to 700 meters, which if you've got a M14 with a scope, you'd be perfectly comfortable with.
Just sorry, someone else brought up in chat the ramp gate. That just makes me giggle like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, we got a new gate already.
Oh, man. You still got some people connecting in. 1 minute remaining. Don, if you're there, thanks for putting the poll up. If not, whoever put the poll up, I appreciate it. The numbers are pretty well split here. 51.6, I would believe, on Blue 4, 50K on Op 4, because I always let my viewers bet on what side they think is going to win. Honestly, though, from the map, you can't really tell where the explosives are. So, I mean, the charge 1 position, you might not realize that it's under the bridge specifically. Gotta wonder, though. Because once they actually get on the walkway up here, it's almost impossible to defend from because they got rid of the other walkway, so you can just literally get right on top of that position and jump down. That's going to be a bit of a toughie to defend from. And then the other one, I mean, it's just completely in the middle of the bridge, which as long as you can hold the bridge, you're fine, but in terms of CQC, that can get very messy very quickly, and then there's some really nice close-range Overwatch positions that Op4 can utilize to try to snipe at anyone that's actually that close to covering the actual objective. So I could see this lasting a good chunk of time, but it looks like Op4, I didn't notice there was some additional vehicles up here. So they got 3 transport trucks and a BTR-40, because the other one was on the southern side, but it looks like they're going to be using those vehicles to get close. And then we have some boats with Delta going out.
Look at them go.
So it looks like Op4 did a bit of a false start. They weren't fully mounted up and ready to go, so now they're trying to get that with their remaining infantry. All as Delta starts moving in. We got a TP-27, and I believe these are 2 of the RPD boats.
Yeah, I mean, my entire team got wiped out in a couple of these boats just the other week doing we were trying to do the river escape on, I think, Eldest Son mission in the campaign, because there is a river escape. A lot of people never even realize this, but you can actually go and liberate some boats. They are marked on the map. And we did the river escape, and we just got absolutely smashed. We did complete the mission, but yeah, but a lot of guys died.
Yeah. Something to train on and learn for next time. But it looks like Blue 4 is going to go all in on the charge 1 position, which in my opinion is, I think, the harder to defend one personally.
No.
If I was them, I'd put flanking forces on either side of that bridge who are able to shoot anyone crawling across underneath the span. But they may not know it's there.
Yeah. We'll see. Freeboos, thanks for the 24-month resub. That gets you a silver Lance Corporal badge. I appreciate all your support. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this Friday night fight scenario.
Bob, I am sober. I'm not sober. I've got a nice buzz on. I'm just thinking up tickets for you at the moment. Keep you busy at the weekend, sweetie.
Wait, keep who busy?
Bob Murphy's just messaged me saying, you don't look that drunk.
But Barbarian Weeb, who we see on Sundays, wants me to tell you hi, and the M1T is amazing.
Oh, yeah, he went to look for that after I told him. Of course we have one, yeah.
Yeah.
But there'll come a point where any weapon you name, well, of course we've got it. Because we know how our primary customer base, being American males, do like every weapon in the world to be present in a game.
That I think does cover your target demographic really well.
I do too, and it gives me more excuses to come over to your lovely country and shoot more of your amazing weapons.
That is entirely fair. Alright, so I'm looking at Blue 4. They've actually put forces around the Hue Citadel. We got another force on the southeastern corner of Hue, possibly to hold from anything that might come around the far eastern flank and attack from the south, and otherwise they're just bridging out infantry everywhere.
So, let's give 'em a warm welcome,
but it's a
shall we?
very long distance here, so I'm a bit worried about Blue 4 potentially overextending themselves here and having too much manpower completely out of the AO, especially with Charlie being so far to the south. But hold on, we have some auto rifle fire here. Nope, these are M16s firing up at Op4 Delta, who just landed on the river.
Wow,
and
that's
are
some
trying
long,
to dismount.
long range contact going on.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Not going to hit anyone with that from there easily. Iron sight 556 for 500 meters. You're kind of chancing it, aren't you?
I got someone else in chat saying, gotta say, Rob, all the SLR variants are amazingly done, especially the SAS version. Can't wait for 1.3. Regards, Earl.
Well, Earl, you're going to be very happy because there's a new SAS weapon coming to 1.3, and that's my first leak of the evening.
All right.
On that note, I'm going to get a beer.
So we can get through more.
Speculate what it is.
We just got to get to round 3 again, and instead of focusing on the shovel, I'll focus on that specifically. Unless we find something else to harper on. But regardless, guys, Malin, I'll let him know about the 67 recoilless. I'm willing to bet we might see that 1.3, but you also have to understand that after 1.3, there isn't much they're going to be working on after as they start moving on to other projects. At least that's what I've been told. And I will say, for ZDLC, and even the base game, Prairie Fire does have the best shotguns out of all of them. Just with the way they do, especially the 1897. I mean, that in PvP, it literally creates a wall of flechette rounds that will absolutely deck people, and it's really fun to watch anyone on the Blue Force side pick that up. I'm not sure if we're going to see it today, but that would be quite interesting. But we're actually going to have a little bit of fighting on the Hoi Citadel here. As the rest of Op4 have all gone around, they're going to end up hitting Charge 2, crossing the bridge, I bet, and then attacking from the other side. That's going to really throw a lot of Blue 4 off here, as Delta's kind of going to be the skirmishing force, but we have Op4 versus Blue 4 Delta here. Nemesis looks over. Op4's in a bit of a bad spot. They don't have a lot of cover to work with here. You're seeing some grenades being thrown from a very far range. You've got Oddball up here trying to overwatch with an M14. Some of these guys waking back up, but that initial barrage knocked out quite a bit of Blue 4 here. Really well-placed grenades by Op4 as well. We have some return grenades going, but it's not far enough before they detonate. So they're turning into little airburst rounds. Got some more Blue 4 going up. All right, Rob, Hoi Citadel has become a bloodbath.
As expected.
As both Delta teams with their heavy machine guns, M60s and PKPs start engaging each other. Op4 got some great placements on grenades, but otherwise, as Blue 4 starts waking up more of their manpower, both sides, I think, have taken a single KIA and are now trying to bounce back. Blue 4's got someone on the sniper position, though, trying to hit what he can with a Mark 14. Not sure if he has a scope on there. I don't think so. And we just saw another Blue 4 guy go down to an AK. Yanni up on 2 kills.
It's kicking off full on. I mean, we designed this area as a Call of Duty capture the flag, as a map for capture the flag. No one's ever put CTF on here, but they could, and it would work because it was, we designed it with 3 main routes and loads of cross connections between those routes, which is what you want in a CTF level design.
I had another thing. Malin said if you don't put the M67 recoilless rifle in the 1.3 update, he will be incredibly sad.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a new recoilless coming in, to be honest.
Dang.
Tick that one off in your elimination calculations to try and work out what is and isn't going to be in there. But yeah, new SAS weapon for sure.
Gotcha. We see Op4 double tapping what they can on Blue 4 bodies. They only lost their squad leader. Meanwhile, Blue 4 had 4 KIAs in that fight and appeared to be retreating their forces inside the Citadel. They also have another team on the outside that's now trying to look in and find a firing angle on Delta, but again, the foliage is very thick. But if Op4 Delta comes along the eastern side of the Citadel, they will end up getting lit up by that tree line. Meanwhile, the rest of Op4 is down on the southwestern corner. They're going to be going for the Charge 2 bridge first on the western side, and then potentially push south, enter Hue, and then possibly take the fight right to the same bank that Blue 4 is on. I'm a little worried about Blue 4 because if you look on the map, they have so many forces expecting a southern push. And Op4 is just going to be able to hit both of these objectives with minimal resistance at this point. So Blue 4 a bit too spread out, but we'll just have to see how things go.
Yeah, it looks like your Scandi guys, Whiplash and that. They're gonna try to be the distraction in the Hue Citadel, which is kind of how I would have called it as well.
Right.
Send a big flanking force, put these guys up in the Citadel to cause bother.
That's exactly what they're doing. And that'll also pin a lot of forces on the first bridge target. That way Op4 doesn't even have to interact with the second one. They can just leave their ground commander back there, get all their forces in position to hit the first one, and by the time they're hitting the first one, they can also initiate the bomb on the second one without pulling Blue 4 to make them realize that that's the position they're coming from. So
the little timer, Liru, on the side of the screen says 40 minutes. Is that the total mission time, or is that the time remaining?
That means there's that's the total mission time for time remaining. The second one you said.
Right. So that's what so it's a bit like a football game. We've got our eye on that clock.
Right.
Okay.
And again, FNF rounds, they have a 15-minute save start and then 50 minutes for the rounds. We've only gotten a fifth of the way through the time. I don't see this mission going another 30 minutes tops, to be honest, just based off of where Op4 is and where Blue 4 have decided to set up their defensive positions. But we could see Blue 4 just reinforce with their Charlie squad on the rear. But we also see some Blue 4 crossing the bridge again to the north to possibly double down here. But then again, I think that's actually Delta 2. They broke down from their positions, but they're being ordered to push back as they try to locate where Op4 Delta has gone.
I mean, it's a shitty place to get caught in the open. And it's quite easy to have that happen. I've played a lot of games around this area.
Looks like Op4 is now doing a river crossing here around the Charge 2 position. They're trying to execute getting up to that position as close as possible, but we already got some people right on top of this objective. Blue 4 didn't even send anyone to plant any mines or explosives on it to try to bait Op4 to come in. Everything just came up to this first bridge position instead. But now we're going to start seeing where Puma is. Unfortunately, there's too many trees in the way. They're going to have to go to the central citadel to get eyes, which we do have some people starting to get up on.
Yeah, note to self on level design, always remove a few trees just to leave some gaps.
Right. I want to see that a little up here, though. But Blue 4, they're utilizing the banks to move to some additional positions here on the left side. So it looks like from Diggs' position, he does see forces across the river moving.
Yeah, let's watch and see if the Terminator's going to terminate.
He's got Cats now arranging for him with the binos and scoping around for other targets. PKs are starting to be set up. Blue 4, the closest force is staying down on the bank so they're not spotted by this overwatching position here.
And they're actually almost in frag range. They could certainly Willy Pete them. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Close. Getting close. I mean, they're probably 70% of the range they need to be.
They could potentially flank around and then come up to the side and then get on the base of right here. I think the Willy Pete's would get a little short, but that could at least shock the infantry to move back, thinking they're under threat.
Yeah, they're a heavy grenade, so not the easiest thing to lob. I'd love to actually throw a real one just to see how, just to set some things on fire.
Curious to see how Delta does, but it looks like they're actually trying to bypass the Citadel now and head further west to see if Op4 have moved up from that position. You also have a squad on the southern bank on the city itself moving in that direction because I think they're trying to figure out where Op4's main force is.
Break, they're on the charge.
Yep.
On charge 2.
Yep, so it's just a decision of Op4 whether or not they want to plant it yet. You got Blue 4 now firing up on that bridge, though, but they're taking fire from across the river, actually, down at the Citadel.
That's the PK next to Diggs with binoculars and everything. These guys know what to do.
All right, they did decide to plant the charge on that side. Though, interestingly enough, way in the back, we have someone that drowned in the river. But it looks like he woke back up. But what I'm worried about for this Op 4 Delta position is we have 2 Blue 4 Delta members on their rear that could get behind them and throw some well-placed grenades and potentially get a nice multi-kill with these guys. Uh-oh. That's my internet. Great. Just great. That's quite unfortunate. My internet's dead. The router's working, it's just not getting internet right now, so something just, great.